When things seem to be becoming tougher response might be the right solution. This is what President Ibrahim Traoré is molding himself against those wishing to pull Burkina Faso back into stagnant situation concerning economic growth and security of this Sahel country of West Africa. Destabilizing Burkina Faso through numerous ways, including terrorist groups, which have long been the focal point of suffering, plus the West, which the captain has always, and is continuing to come out, to accuse concerning their ways of gaining at a greater level without considering mutual benefit, is the heart of President Ibrahim Traoré's immense moves, aimed at changing Burkina Faso for good. Having passed through Alot, mainly the various military operations the captain has been involved, being ready to die while fighting for Burkina Faso's liberation, is declaring the lion Burkina Faso has got. President Ibrahim Traoré has always been, and is continuing to come out to show his strategic stance on matters concerning various sectors of Burkina Faso. But why President Ibrahim Traoré says he's ready to confront the destabilizers of Burkina Faso? Will the captain manage to pass through these challenging situations in Burkina Faso? How is he setting himself apart from a number of African leaders who are replacing Pan-Africanism with being parasites? President Ibrahim Traoré joined the army of Burkina Faso in 2009 and graduated from the Georges Namawano Military Academy. This marked the beginning of his military career, which could later transform him into a beloved president. He is now in Burkina Faso. Since joining the army, a number of military operations he has been involved have declared his resilient nature, which he is also showcasing against various groups of people limiting what Burkina Faso has to achieve. Through possessing various military skills, including aerial combat skills, which he obtained when he was sent to Morocco for anti-aircraft training before being transferred to an infantry unit in Kaya, a town in northern Burkina Faso. President Traoré is declaring his readiness when fighting in various military operations. When we talk about courage, President Ibrahim Traoré has always been moving through it since joining the military. Being courageous, bold, and ready for anything concerning the military, President Ibrahim Traoré managed to stand out, hence being lifted in military ranks due to his unwavering efforts towards insurgency in Burkina Faso. After being promoted to the rank of lieutenant in 2014, President Ibrahim Traoré joined the United Nations Multidimensional Integrated Stabilization Mission in Mali, MINUSMA, a United Nations peacekeeping force involved in the Mali War. During major rebel attacks in the Tombouctou region in 2018, President Ibrahim Traoré showed everyone his courage, a thing which declared his nature of having a lion heart. President Ibrahim Traoré's immense fight against insurgency has not started now, when he is the president of Burkina Faso. He fought at Djibo in the Otopuano offensive of 2019 and several other counter-insurgency operations in the country's north. Observing him putting in too much effort concerning the fight against terrorism is a thing he has been involved. His courage saw him being promoted to the rank of captain in 2020. What do all these declare concerning those who are against President Ibrahim Traoré's work for the citizens of Burkina Faso? The military operations the captain has been involved, leading to promotion to various ranks. The captain doesn't need to become a general to show his bias against poor governance in Burkina Faso. Destabilizing Burkina Faso has been a major issue even before President Ibrahim Traoré rising into power in September 2022. But this time round, Everyone is amazed as to why there have to be coup attempts against President Ibrahim Traoré with all the efforts he's putting in place for the good of this Sahel country of West Africa. The issue of mutual benefit has something to communicate here. Africa has been a major victim concerning one-sided benefit. Possessing almost every natural resource mankind has ever seen, the continent is yet to gain from its richness concerning natural resources, mainly minerals. The West is accused of being one-sided concerning benefit. One-sided benefit is looked at as the major cause of a number of problems on the African continent. The West's major aim of having full control over African minerals has created prolonged confusion on the African continent. Coupled with a number of greedy African leaders, a need to stop all this chaos is now the major goal of the new rising Pan-Africanists for this case, President Ibrahim Traoré. The question of who really controls Africa is still very hard to answer. Do Africans really have full potential to develop their continent? Leaders like President Ibrahim Traoré are coming out with these not just questions, but coupled with actions in order to justify the question. If you feel you are no longer seeing the relevance of your ally, what do you think is next? Yes, of course, it becomes the beginning of the end of the alliance. President Ibrahim Traoré is willing to expose the imperialists who have exploited the continent to the extent of leaving many suffering. Too much chaos concerning terrorism and peacekeeping has left many divided due to the complexity of the two. The West, being among the major weapon producers, is accused of not providing the necessary military equipment towards the fight against terrorism. President Ibrahim Traoré saw a very wide gap between terrorists and the army of Burkina Faso. How could you be having one of the strongest alliances and still being challenged by mere terrorists who may seem weaker? This question is confusing to many, including President Ibrahim Traoré himself. This is why, due to poor management of elimination of insurgency in Burkina Faso, the captain felt it was time to say goodbye to the West. Coupled with rising into power through a military coup, a thing which couldn't please certain groups, plus looking for alternatives, which President Ibrahim Traoré felt were right to replace the West majorly, France put him in the center of being targeted by those feeling they were intervened. Even though destabilizers are doing all they can to overthrow him, President Ibrahim Traoré is also spitting fire against them. The case of destabilizers is complex due to a number of parties involved. The issue of neighbors is picked out by the captain among the major contributors to continued destabilizing of Burkina Faso. Instead of focusing on helping each other to combat seriously burning issues, most especially terrorism in West Africa, certain neighboring countries are like being adamant when the same evil can greatly extend to their sides. President Ibrahim Traoré is not against the citizens of those neighbors, but is against the leaders who have little concern about the ongoing issue of insurgency in West Africa. The leaders of Ivory Coast and Benin have been at the forefront of the countries accused by the captain of supporting terrorist groups, among other destabilizers. When one comes out to do the necessary, it seems he becomes a significant enemy of those who are not wishing kindness. However, President Ibrahim Traoré is wise. Looking for new stronger allies is among the major things his focus has been. President Ibrahim Traoré is ready to fight against anyone willing to take back Burkina Faso to suffering. Obtaining the necessary military equipment to combat terrorism has greatly improved everything concerning security in Burkina Faso. President Ibrahim Traoré is ready to fight to the last soldier in order to create a new peaceful country.